So I was praying the other day, and I was singing a song, and sometimes when you pray and you sing a song, most times you get your prayer points from that particular song. So I was singing the song. Jarani ya Yesu na inzama kama dakai. Jarani ya Yesu na Jarani maikaka. Jarani ya Yesu na inzama kama dakai, that I may become like you. Jarani ya Yesu na, please fix me, Lord. Jarani, my soul, fix me, my love. Fix me, my lover. So that was the song I was singing, and I started praying, Lord, fix me. Lord, fix me. And then in that prayer, I had this revelation. And it was just so clear. It was a very, very clear one. And so what I saw a potter. Yes, and I saw a potter with his hands on the clay pots, trying to fix a pot. Those potters. It's the potter's wheel. It's when you put the potter on a wheel, on those wheel that that makes it go around, and then they put their hands around the clay pot, so it could shape it into the form or the shape that they want it to. And so that was what I saw in that revelation, and it was a very clear one. And I was saying, God. And God is saying, this is how I'm going to fix you. Why the potter, makes that, shape that clay. It's in the process. Sometimes there are excesses, and then excess clay, and then sometimes it removes those excesses, and then sometimes, if there's need for, addition, it begins to, he adds more clay to those to that pot, to that form of clay that he's making. And I have this I wrote some of these things here, and it was really, really baffling. It was really, really baffling. It was interesting. I was wondering, I said, God, what are you trying to say? And God says, this is how I'm fixing somebody. Sometimes what God speaks to you, that's also the way he speaks to someone. God said, this is how I'm fixing someone here. The excess baggage, there's some excesses that needs to come out, that needs to be removed from your life for you to be the version that he wants you to be. There's some excesses, some excess baggage that you have been carrying a long time ago. He needs to shed it off. He needs to remove some of those excesses. And then, sometimes in the process of making that clay, I don't want to take your time, but, if I have the time, I'm still going to read it. Jeremiah 18, from verse 4 to 6. But if you have time, please read Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 1 to 6. You will get a very clear picture of what I'm saying, or what I'm trying to say. So in Jeremiah chapter 18, we're not going to read that. So I saw it says sometimes the clay, the potter, in process of making it, make mistakes. Sorry, I have to read this. I have to read this Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 6. Let me quickly read it. Can't I do just as the potter does, people of Israel? God's decree. Watch this potter. In the same way that this potter work his clay, I work on you, people of Israel. So other part is, sorry, I think I missed verse 4. The Message version It says, whenever the potter was working on. Whenever the potter was working on turned out badly, as it sometimes happens when you are working. It sometimes happens when you're working on the clay or working with clay. The potter would simply start over and use the same clay to make another pot. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So in the process of making the pots, sometimes the potter makes mistakes. Of course, God doesn't make mistake. Yes, and He's intentional about you. That's what I'm trying to say. God is careful, is mindful about you. Understand? So He made, in place of making that pot, they made mistakes, and then he has to break down the pot. He breaks the pot down, and then he starts all over and reshapes it to his satisfaction and to the way he wants it to be. And that is how God is shaping someone here. He's shaping your mindset. He's shaping your mind. Sometimes it looks like there's some burdens that you have carried so much. You have carried it. It has become it has become part of you. It's a scar that has become like attached to you. They just say like eczema, like a scar, eczema that's attached to your skin. You understand? So you are so used to that baggage. You are so used to that burden. Sometimes those things are not things that actually sin. It's not like it's a sin, but you are so doubtful. In fact, you are so faithless. Some of you don't have faith. Your mind, your critical mind is always on the clock, working 100 times, imagining negative thoughts. Some of you, just negative thoughts. That is all that is your head. What if those intrusive thoughts? God is saying that you should let go of those baggages, because if you don't, I cannot work on you. That is what God is saying. I need to work on you. And if you don't let go of all those excess baggages, those excesses, I cannot fix you the way I want to. I cannot remodel you and rework on you the way I want to. That is what God is saying to someone today. Let God fix you. Let the potter fix you. Let the potter remodel your life the way He envisaged it to be, the way He wanted it to be, the way He created you, in the right way that He has made you. Let the potter work on you. Don't be too stiff. Don't be too high standard. Don't be too myopic in your mindset. Don't be too low in your mindset. Don't be too high and not be too low that you feel God cannot work on you. There's nobody that God cannot work on. And if you feel that you have gone so much astray, trust me, He can rework you. He can rewire you to the way you ought to be, to His satisfaction. He can use you in such a way that you would, even you yourself, you'll be wondering, could this be me? So trust the potter that is ready to fix you. Trust the potter that is ready to reshape you. Trust the potter to remove the excesses. Trust the potter to add to you the right ingredients, the right amount of ingredients that is needed for your next level and for your next phase. You need to trust Him. You need to solely depend on Him. He doesn't like to be, he doesn't want you to serve Him and serve any other God. He is a jealous God. He needs your complete attention. He needs your whole being. He doesn't need half of you. He needs the full version of you to work on before He can get the version and the perfect version that He has always wanted you to be. Before He can get that better version that you ought to be. Before He can portray you to the world that this is my son, this is my child in whom I am well pleased. And I know that God will help you and He will see you through in Jesus' name.